Hey guys, what's going on? I wanted to make this quick video. Um, I know a lot of have been having a lot of questions about like what the Wandering Soul is and like why we actually created this YouTube channel. And I kind of just wanted to go over that with you guys. Um, so here we go. Uh, if you're building something that matters to you, but you feel like you're doing it alone, you're off track or in silence, I made this community for you. This isn't a funnel. This isn't some kind of pitch. I don't want to sell you anything. It's actually a mirror and a microphone, a place where where you're meant to create real change, and but you're tired of white knuckling the process and like you're feeling like you're doing it alone and not making any progress with it. Um, I built that community for you. I've done the courses. I've read the books. I've We've done the $100 million offers. We've read $100 million leads. We got Simon Squibb's What's Your Dream. We went through Napoleon Hill's books. We got dot com secrets. We've been through Russell Brunson's traffic secrets. We've been through expert secrets. Like we've done it all. We've bought the books. Done the courses, and we at some point like we still felt like we were doing it alone and like nothing was actually happening. Um, and that really sucked for a long time. Like I felt like I was doing everything. I was doing everything right. I was on school. I was doing the Q&As every week. And I got to a point where like I was listening to the Q&As and I could actually like when people were asking the questions in the comments, I would actually be able to answer them and be like, "Oh, you just haven't listened to last week's call where they talked about this or where they did certain things where it's like, oh, I hear that. I know exactly what to do." And but knowing what's inside my head and actually giving it to people and actually producing something that actually mattered, if there was more needed to happen, more needed to like I needed something else. I needed something different. And I didn't know what that was for a very long time. I was on school for a year, like I said, and like I didn't know what I was doing wrong or like how I could actually improve. Because, like I said, I've done the books. I know exactly what to do. Like you know what I mean. I know what the value equation is. I know the core four. I study these books every day, and like I still wasn't making any progress. I wasn't making any actual money. I could get people inside the community and like actually get a chance to talk to them and like kind of see what their problems were, but I wasn't actually doing anything with it. I could get like some testimonials here and there, and that was great. Like I felt really proud of that. I got to promote for a few friends and do some really cool things, and that was awesome. Uh, but like I said, it didn't equate to any money. So for a while, I was like, why am I doing this? What's the point of doing this and doing all this work and spending all these time, spending all the weekends, like not hanging out with my friends and family if I'm not getting anywhere and nothing's actually happening. So that's really the reason I made this. And so I built and I scaled. I won games. I've done things I used to dream about. You know what I mean? Like I've and somewhere along the way, I looked around and I was like, why does this still feel off? Like what am I doing wrong? Like I have the tools, I have the knowledge, but something was missing. But the truth is, high level creators suffer in silence. We're taught to isolate in the name of excellence, but the momentum isn't a solo sport. You know what I mean? Like it's not something that you do alone. Like when you have a big business, you don't do any of it alone. Like Hormozy says, when you have a big business, the only thing you end up with a certain level of you need a head of HR, you need a head of customer service, you need a head of sales, a head of marketing, a head of HR. You know what I mean? Like you have a group of people you report to you, and then they do the work of the business, right? So for me, like, I didn't have a team, so I didn't have people around me that were building and doing the same things as I was, and that was a real struggle for me. And so, and the second truth that I had to learn was discipline can't solve you from disconnection. You know what I mean? So even though I was showing up every day, I was still disconnected from the people that truly mattered and the people that would actually make a difference. Um, and the last one I think is one of the main contributors is your environment. Like where do you spend most of your time? Who do you hang around with? Some people that might be changing cities, right? It might be changing your complete location and where you physically are. But that doesn't always have to be. Sometimes you don't have the money, or you just don't know where to go, and you don't want to move to another town where you don't know anyone, and you feel you're actually alone, right? So there's another way. You can either become a normal person and just kind of fade back into the abyss and feel like, hey, this hey, I tried all that stuff and it wasn't for me, right? Or you can join a community where people are also trying to do the exact same thing you are, where they're actually building and learning the skills to make a difference. They're talking to people that are going through the exact same things, and actually making a difference, making people feel like they matter. And that's why I built the Wandering Soul. It's a community for high level builders, creators, and visionaries who are still becoming. And I want people, and you want people to do it with, so you're not doing it alone. And to clarify, this isn't a course. Obviously, we do have courses on there, but that's not the main point of like the community. The point, it's not a challenge. Do I have challenges on there? Absolutely, because sometimes it's just to get your foot in the door. And like when you're doing stuff with other people, it makes it a lot more fun when you have challenges and things that you gravitate towards. So some people like myself, I'm a competitive person. So if I see something and like there's a leaderboard, for example, in school, I want to be at the top of that. There's not really too many lists that I'm like, I want to be at the bottom of. So there's a bunch of people like that who enjoy competing and wanting to be the best version of themselves. And so we have something for that. Um, it, it's a place to be seen, ship, and sharpen what others care about, and with purpose and proof. We built it with energy from weekly rituals, live sessions, and member-led momentum. So we show up for each other, and it's a space to build from your inner code, not just a business plan. Because I don't know about you, but I've made tons and tons of business plans, and like they really just sit in a notebook somewhere, and they don't ever get used. I have made tons and tons of them for businesses that don't exist anymore, and they don't do anything. But because most of them don't have any daily action, what am I actually supposed to do with this, right? I can make a plan, but I've also heard something really good where um, somebody was talking about how they were a combat vet, and they were talking about what was the one thing that, like, when you had somebody die next to you and like you just had to keep going back into battle, into war, and like how did you deal with that, like when having people constantly die next to you. And the one thing that he said that he learned from that was that plans are bullshit. Like you can plan like your whole life, you can plan where you're going to college, school, and wherever, but then tomorrow you're not here. You know what I mean? And so having plans is nice, but if you can't control the future, like most of us can't, you need a plan that's actually going to make a difference. You need actionable action steps that actually do the thing. Um, and so if this spoke to you, and maybe you're like me, um, I ask you to, hey, if you want to, come join with us and check it out. It's not um, anything where we want to take anything from you. We want to give more than we take. So that's something I've learned from Hormozy for sure, is like we don't take anything. We try and give as much away as possible for free. And if you want to know more, we absolutely will help you along the way and do whatever we can to support you along trying to make your dream come true. Because I've been there. It's a struggle when you're doing it alone and you don't have anyone else around you, and you want to make a difference. You don't have to do it alone anymore. And I made the Wandering Soul for you. So if this is something that resonates with you and something that you want to try out, and you want to commit to something more bigger than yourself, and something that you can actually say, hey, at the end of my life, I've exhausted every option and I've done everything I possibly can to make my dream become a reality. This is for you. Hopefully, we'll see you soon.